Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the biggest franchises that Super Smash Bros. Has ever used, though Ultimate could actually make you think otherwise, as even after 16 years of this franchise being used, only Sonic has ever been playable. None of his other friends, Tails, Knuckles, hell, not even Eggman. Well, okay, he's not one of his pals, but you get what I mean. How about we solve that problem today with one of the more, well, I want to say obscure characters, but one of the more lesser known ones, Mighty the Armadillo. Sonic Mania is one of my favorite games of all time, and Mighty is easily my favorite character in that. He's just so fun to play with his similar gameplay to Sonic, and his ground pound being an absolute game changer. And also him being impervious to spikes, which damn can those be annoying. Though, unfortunately, he practically has little to no chance of getting the Smash, especially with all the competition that he has to face. But there's no worries, as I am here to give him his very own moveset. So with that all being said, he will be relatively along the same speed as Sonic, as they are similar in design of course. Though in weight, he would actually be slightly heavier. With his hard shell of course, he would have 2 jumps and no additional movement options. For Mighty's jab, it will be a single punch forwards, as that was all that was needed to knock down Ray in Sonic Mania Adventures. It can be similar to Ganondorf's, where it's a single hit forward, though it is considerably strong at a later percent, even killing if you can get it right. For his dash attack, it could be a shoulder bash, similar to Wario's, where it'd be very hard hitting at the start of it, though later it would be weaker, though you could probably start some combos with it. For side tilt, it can either be a left or a right hook, depending on which direction he's facing. Again, a pretty hard-hitting move and one that is pretty quick, so be aware of Mighty whenever you're close to him. For his up tilt, it could be Sonic's flip kick in Sonic Battle. Pretty good for starting combos at early percents, though it would send your opponents flying more at later percents, but not exactly enough to KO. For his down tilt, it could be a sweep kick, just like Sonic's. Good for starting combos, not much else. For his side smash, he swings a large boulder right in front of him, a reference to an attack he did towards Metal Sonic in the Sonic and Mania Adventure series. Considering how close range it is fairly strong, though it is incredibly laggy near the end, as Mighty would have to pull himself up after he let out the boulder. For his up smash, Vector appears and bites vertically upwards to send the opponents flying. It'd be a fairly skinny move, so you're gonna have to use a little planning to use it. It would also be similar to Hero's up smash, where it would only have a hitbox upwards, never in front or behind him. This would be a fairly strong move though, especially if Vector fully connects with his bite. For his down smash, he will begin by charging his fist downwards. When the attack initiates, Mighty will stop mid-punch when he's surprised that Espio suddenly appears due to his camouflage and performs a split kick. Forgot to mention this with Vector, but both of them are friends of Mighty from Knuckles Chaotix. This attack would be fairly weaker than his other smash attacks, though it would still be a pretty good get-off-me tool, and would be fairly quick. For his neutral air, 6 Chaos Rings will circle around him, doing multiple hits of damage before launching his opponent. A reference to the Chaos Ring, and I'm not kidding, cool animation from Knuckles Chaotix. Yes, that's an actual screen that shows up when you 100% the game. It's a lot funnier than it sounds. For his forward air, he'll perform Sonic's Axe Kick from Sonic Battle, which will spike if sweet spotted, and be pretty damn early too, kinda like Incineroar's down air. You might be noticing, but I am giving Mighty some moves that Sonic has, which yeah, can be a little weird, though since they're similar in design, I don't think it's very too far off. And let's be honest, if Smash isn't gonna give Sonic those moves, may as well give it to Mighty. For his back air, he performs an elbow strike from behind, a similar attack that Knuckles, who is another friend of Mighty's, pulls off in Sonic Battle. It would be a pretty slow move, but it would be a hard-hitting attack, especially if you land the sweet spot directly on its elbow, which will kill considerably early. For his up air, Charmy will be seen flying above him in a vertical arc. Both Mighty and Charmy will be holding a gold ring from Knuckles Chaotix, which was the primary source of moving around. This is pretty good for comboing midair, though not much else. It's not exactly going to kill very early. Though, that is opposed to his down air, which will have Mighty holding the gold ring again, and forcefully sending Charmy down, with spiking when sweet spotted, though not as early as Mighty's forward air. Mighty grabs with both of his hands and pummels by poking the opponent with his nose. His forward throw will have Vector suddenly appear for a shoulder bash. Can send pretty far, though not too much where he would KO the opponent. His back throw will have Espio re-emerge from his camouflage and back kick the opponent. Again, it can send pretty far, but not exactly enough to KO. For his up throw, Mighty will throw the opponent up in the air, and Charmy will then sting the opponent to send them even higher. Which, okay, you're kind of getting the theme with these throws, huh? Though for his down throw, he'll pick the opponent up and throw them on the ground so hard it buries them, leaving only you to decide which attack to use next. For his neutral special, he has the ability to grow or shrink, a reference to one of the power-ups in Knuckles Chaotix. Tap once to shrink, which will make him faster, but weaker and lighter. Tap twice to grow, which will make him stronger and heavier, but slower and can be easily comboed. Though don't worry, this won't be similar to the Super Mushroom or the Poison Mushroom, it would only slightly change his size. Though of course, you would still have to be careful on how you use this one, as you can be light as a Squirtle, though you can be as heavy as a Charizard. Okay, maybe not as much as that, but you get the idea. For his side special, he activates the Flame Shield, originally found in Sonic 3, which has him flying horizontally. He is immune to fire attacks while using this move. Yeah, I know Mighty has never been able to use his power-up, but let me tell you, making moves for this character was pretty hard. So the Flame Shield would have had to do. Just know that this power-up would do burning damage and can send their opponents considerably far if hit at the beginning of the move. For his up special, Ray the Flying Squirrel swoops in and lifts Mighty up high up until he loses momentum. Ray of course is Mighty's best friend, with the two of them showing up in steady as Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Mania, though that friendship is especially seen in Sonic Mania Adventures. This wouldn't send Mighty too high, but it's a decent use of recovery. And for his down special, it's a spin dash just like Sonic's. Unless you use it in the air. If used in the air, Mighty will use his signature ground pound in Sonic Mania. If it lands, Mighty can bounce off the opponent and can immediately perform another action. Though this move doesn't spike and can just send the opponent flying. Mighty will not bounce very high if landing on the ground either. It's a pretty strong move and a pretty good landing choice as there's very little landing lag, so use this as a good option. So you might be looking at Mighty and say that he's a pretty decent character all around. Hell, maybe in some areas a little broken. But this is the thing about Mighty. He's very strong, but the large majority of his moves have some end lag. So you need to be careful on how you use his moves and when you use those moves. As while yes, you could be rewarded with success, there might be times where you're left wide open. So be very careful how you use them. For Mighty's final smash, Knuckles will very quickly glide right in front of Mighty to initiate the final smash. If landed, both Mighty and Knuckles will activate the power of the Chaos Emerald and attack the opponent repeatedly in the air, similar to something like the Jinjos in Banjo's final smash, before sending them flying with a double punch between the two. This is a very strong final smash and can KO considerably early. So this would be a pretty easy KO option, as long as your opponent is not somewhere like 20% or lower. For his default ult, Mighty will be seen in his signature red armor, his normal appearance in basically every Sonic game. For his alternate, he'll have yellow armor and blue shoes, just like his best friend Ray the Flying Squirrel. For his third ult, he'll have blue armor, just like Sonic. For his fourth ult, he'll have green armor and black shoes, just like Vector the Crocodile. For his fifth ult, he'll have purple armor and purple and black shoes, similar to Espio's design. For his sixth ult, you have yellow armor and orange shoes, similar to that of Charmy. For his seventh ult, you have pink armor and yellow shoes, kinda similar to his Super Mighty design in Sonic Mania, though of course with a little more creative liberties. And for his eighth ult, it will be a Christmas ult, with muffs and a scarf from one of the Christmas artworks of Sonic Mania. For his entrance, Ray drops off Mighty onto the stage, waving goodbye. For his taunts, one of them will have a one-arm flex, another one be a shrug, and the third one have him twirling a gold ring. And finally, his victory animations. For his first one, he runs past an Eggman sign that changed to Mighty, giving a peace sign, similar to the end goal in Sonic Mania. For his second victory animation, he flexes in multiple poses and ends with the same flex he does at the end of his victory animation in Sonic Mania. For his third animation, Ray is seen carrying Mighty while gliding. Unfortunately, they tumble down after a bit, but they laugh about it afterwards. And that was the moveset for Mighty the Armadillo. I apologize for this one being late. I am really inconsistent with my scheduling. This episode was supposed to release earlier, that being in January. But hey, at least it's finally out and I can make a moveset for one of my favorite Sonic characters. As always, the art in this video was all made by @EndoNintendo on Instagram. Please give him a shout out or follow if you enjoy the work here. And if you want to see more of this series, subscribe, because we have a lot more to go. With the next one being someone that I'm sure you're very familiar with. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.